Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you doing? It's your boy Ty. Thank y'all for tuning back in to Beer Talk with Veteran. Before I kick anything off, I just kind of got a ritual that I normally do. Beer Talk with a Veteran was started by a few people, and one of them was a very good friend of mine called King Dot. King Dot, he was definitely one of the ones that made me start this Beer Talk with a Veteran. So I always say I can never start a show without him blessing it. So if y'all just forgive me, let's do this the right way.
Tyran. What up, baby? What up, baby? What up, baby?
Cheers. The crime.
Certain malls we was built upon it. Some are living through them, some were killed upon it. Gonna deliver opinions how we feel in moments. Straight deliver the real with no filter on it. Breaking news, what's the breaking news? Had you wondering where he gon' take it to? Just getting some shit off of his chest. So welcome to Big Talk with a Vet. The First Amendment is freedom of speech. We here to debate, we eager to teach. There's some misinformed people we eager to reach. And there's a bunch of information we needin' to see. The homie Tyran got the pot on lock. Lot of props, this the equivalent of the barbershop. Some topics light, some heavy, some life, some deadly, some right, some messy. But the homie speaking his truth, so just listen. And he ain't really giving a fuck about your opinion. The mission, open your ears, you can let him in. Motherfucker, this Beer Talk with a Veteran. Certain malls we was built upon it. Some are living through them, some were killed upon it. Gonna deliver opinions how we feel in moments. Straight deliver the real with no filter on it. Breaking news, what's the breaking news? Had you wondering where he gon' take it to? Just getting some shit off of his chest. So welcome to Big Talk with a Vet.
Okay, all right. I always got to have my buddy Dot bless everything before I start, man. How y'all doing today? I'm looking sweaty and greasy, man. How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all coming in, joining in for this episode of Beer Talk with a Veteran. This one is a little heartfelt on this one. I might get a little teary-eyed on this episode and everything because I got two very important people that I kind of lean on heavily for a lot of knowledge in life. Some of them don't even know I lean on them like that, but I do. I respect everything that they say. So it's very interesting to have you guys tuned in today to listen to these guys. What I want to do first for the ones that's just kind of tuning in, don't know who I am. Some of you do, but there's a few that I just met and I actually kind of follow along. So what I want to do is just give you a quick rundown of who I am and what this purpose of tonight is for. And then we're going to kick it off with you two rock stars that I know. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I just want to explain to a few people out there who I am, right? And who am I? Who is this weird dude that's always posting on social media, doing crazy crap, talking crazy, whatever? Well, I'll be the first to tell you. I am, let's see if I can move my head up. Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. But either way, I'm a Marine Corps retired veteran. I did 20 years in the United States Marine Corps. Once I retired out of that, I always say that's when my life started. Life didn't start for me before the Corps. I should say life started after. Because once I retired, I never thought I would retire, but I did. Retired 20 years out of the Marine Corps. While in the Marine Corps, I did several zillion different things. But one of the things that I did was I was deployed and sent to Afghanistan. I was sent over there for about a year in Afghanistan. While in Afghanistan, I always say, if there's anywhere in the world that you don't want to be, it's a combat zone. Why? Because that's when stuff really gets real and things hit the fan. But while in combat, I performed exceptionally well. So well that I got awarded in my job. I was very good at what I did. So I was combat rewarded. While in, I was a martial arts instructor. So I taught a little bit of the Kung Fu and everything. But for me, life started once I got out. Once I got out, there's nothing in the world I ever wanted to be more than anything than a chef. I wanted to be a Marine and I wanted to be a chef. Just because I like to eat, I like to cook, I like everything. That's all I ever wanted. So that was my mission when I retired from the Marine Corps. I went to culinary arts school, the Cordon Bleu. Once I left, I just wanted to be a chef. That was it. Well, lo and behold, I got to be a chef, not only in my house, but for the Atlanta Falcons. So I was a chef at the Falcons. I was a chef I'm still a sous chef for celebrity chef, David Rose. So I kind of get to travel the world, do my chef thing. I never imagined I would be able to do a lot of that. I made a crazy dream and a bet with my kids that, well, I can get on TV and I want to become an actor. I had no clue how to become an actor, but I think I can do it. And needless to say, with a $2 bet, I was able to do that. I got to be in things like Napoli Ever After with Sanaa Lathan, The Walking Dead. I got to do my own film, which is a small independent movie, Trombone Jones. That was the dopest experience of my life because, again, all I said was I just wanted to act. But I grinded enough to get everywhere. A lot of people don't know I am a serial entrepreneur. I have 2 companies, one production company, a consulting company. I got some of everything. So it's only right that the gentleman that I'll be talking to today, they fix this description because they're just like they're actually worse than me. Currently hold a position of chief editor of a TV station. It's a conservative TV station. And one day y'all gonna have to pull me to the side and find out just how did I get control of a conservative TV station. I love to tell you that story. I always say, man, I never dreamed of becoming a Marine and doing some of the things I did. But a lot of it all came through one thing, just a lot of grit. That's it. It just came through grit. I'm not special. I'm not a hero. I'm just a dude who worked hard and I'm great at what I do. The whole reason I do a lot of this, man, is because I want people to be able to experience that financial freedom that I feel I've been able to experience for the last 11 years. A lot of people got different goals, different dreams, different inspirations of what their financial dreams will be. Mine is just anytime I can be with my family. I don't care where we are, I don't care what we're doing. I just don't care. Anytime I'm with my family and we're not sweating money and we're not sweating the traditional things of life, hey man, that's all the freedom I need. So, like I say, own 2 businesses. I done jumped around. I done did so much stuff in this 11 years of mine that I've been retired that it's crazy, man. Because even when I sit down and I tell people about it, no one ever wants to believe it because it sounds fake. It's actually true. But if there's anything that if anybody's listening, the only thing that I mostly want a lot of you to come out of this with today is some simple terminologies. And hopefully these terminologies can help you ask these gentlemen some questions, not just in stocks, not just in anything, but in your overall business and everything. All right, just some simple terminology, just simple, very things. So that's enough about me. This ain't about me. So what I want to do now is I want to introduce the 2 gentlemen that I'm going to have bring up. I want to do a quick little pick of their bios here so that you all know exactly who you're talking to and who's giving you the answers to the questions that you may be asking. All right, so we're going to start with Maurice Wilson. Maurice, here we go.
Maurice L. Wilson is an engineer turned financial advisor who uses his engineering degree from Tennessee State University to help clients build generational wealth in the stock market. His journey from engineering to financial services began shortly after he started his first career at Chrysler Automotive Company in Detroit, Michigan. During this time, the dot-com bubble burst in the stock market and caught his interest just as he was beginning to learn about investing via his company 401k. What began as a casual interest quickly developed into a passion that led him to start his own firm, Wilson Wealth, located in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, along with a team of experienced advisors, he helps successful business owners and high-income professionals through the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic build generational wealth in the stock market. He still uses his engineering degree, stating that every client represents an open-ended problem that can be solved in an infinite number of ways. His motto in life is, "Money can't make you happy, but it does give you options." When not working, Maurice is a devoted father and husband who believes strongly in the idea that family time is the only time you can't get back. He is an avid supporter of his church, Clark Atlanta WCLK Jazz Station, and his alma mater, Tennessee State University.
All right. All right. That was my man Maurice. And I'll be bringing him to the stage, but we got to introduce the next dude, which is Freddie Taylor. Freddie got a long one.
Freddie E. Taylor is a dynamic entrepreneur, passionate history enthusiast, and dedicated philanthropist who has significantly impacted Black history education. As the founder and CEO of Urban Intellectuals, Freddie has been on a mission to rewrite the narrative of Black culture and history. Freddie's visionary leadership, Urban Intellectuals, has sold over 500,000 Black history flashcards and has been featured in major media outlets such as Time, Essence, HuffPost, CBS Chicago, and ABC News Live. In 2018 and 2019, UI collaborated with JetBlue Airlines to feature the flashcards in the JFK, New York, and Newark, New Jersey airports during Black History Month, further amplifying the message of Black history education. Freddie has also made a name for himself as a prominent figure in the Black entrepreneurship space, co hosting the TV show Black Business Icons. The show highlights remarkable stories of resilience, innovation, and the entrepreneurial spirit in the Black community, showcasing dynamic and transformational Black entrepreneurs and their contributions to society. His commitment to rewriting the narrative of Black history, showcasing dynamic Black entrepreneurs through his TV show. Recently, Freddie was awarded the WDB Legacy Gala Award for Community. Late last year, he was also named one of the top 25 speakers of 2023 by iDominant Public Speaking Magazine, both of which were an absolute honor. Freddie's tireless efforts have earned him a place among the 8% of entrepreneurs who have grown and developed a seven-figure business annually, as featured in Black Enterprise. His impact on Black history education and entrepreneurship is a testament to his dedication and hard work. Freddie's legacy will undoubtedly continue to inspire future generations for years to come. Freddie E. Taylor is a dynamic entrepreneur, passionate history enthusiast, and dedicated philanthropist
Okay, Freddie,
who
that
has
was on me, man.
significantly impacted.
I wanted I wanted you to see the last part. I wanted you to see the last part, but I'll make sure I play it before you go. But either way, ain't no use in keep talking. Let's get these gentlemen to the stage, man. Freddie, Maurice, man, thank y'all for joining me on Beer Talk with a Veteran. Man, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much, man.
Nah, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, well, thank you, man. I had on the end, I damn fat finger the button, you know, when you was getting your challenge from the mall to get 2 businesses into the 7-figure club. You know, hey, let me tell you, Maurice, Freddie is you already know Freddie, but he doesn't.
Hey, man, I got his product, bro.
There you go.
I got his product, bro. Look at my shirt, man. Look at my shirt. Like this is every day in my house, man. Every Sunday. We run through the cars, bro, and not just no one-offs. Every time Freddie send me an email, I'm buying stuff. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, look, bro. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, I'm just honored. Both of y'all, though. I didn't know my man was a chef, so I'm in the right crowd because Tyran don't brag enough about himself. I didn't know none of this stuff.
Right, he often too quiet, right?
You know, that's the
when I invited you to my client event a few years ago, I should have had you in the back, you know.
For real. And he throw down though. He ain't even brother man is an artiste.
Now I'm embarrassed. He let me out there. He didn't tell me he could do better than what we had on the menu. So
my wife get on me all the time because I always tell her, I say, man, if I tell people what I do, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging all the time. So I just be like, I just sit at home, man, you know. And when people find out, they're like, what the hell? If I would have told you, would you have believed me? You know, so, yeah, I just shut up, man. But again, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much coming on. Freddie, Maurice, I just want to say one. Y'all brain, bro. I don't really know how to describe it. Maurice, yeah, you and Freddie, like you support, but Freddie, I'll take it from you. Y'all brain is the same, man. Like, I don't know how y'all think of some of the stuff you do, but once again, it's a privilege. It's a privilege and an honor to do this. So I want to bring you guys on just for a simple thing because I get a lot of questions, DMs, everything, as I'm sure you guys do. And it'll be from everything from finances to stocks to business to everything. And as I tell my friend, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not a business guru. Like I'm probably the last person you want to ask stuff to. But I know the people that I normally go to and ask questions to, that I would love for you to be able to get in the room with them and talk. So that was kind of the purpose of this. Again, my kids, they ask me a lot of things, and there's only so much knowledge I know from business and especially retirement. YouTube can only take me so far. And when I hit that ceiling, it's like I don't really know where else to go. So that's why I should say I come to you guys for all of the questions that was asked to me. So that's the purpose of everything. So with that being said, I'll just say this. Do you gentlemen want to start with anything? You want to let the people, I mean, we said who your bios were. Is there anything you want to start with? Or at least tell them who you are and which podcast, where to find you, at least on that.
All right. You want me to go?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. Let's see. You can find me. Everything is at Wilson Wealth. We've got my personal podcast running at sorry, the Wealth Equation. I'm it's a Wealth Equation.
I still call it Wilson Wealth too. So
yeah, so it's a Wealth Equation. You can find it on Apple and Podbean, and then we have our Firm Watch podcast, and then anything at Wilson Wealth, Instagram at Wilson Wealth, Facebook at Wilson Wealth. You can find us. And we're just trying to serve the masses, trying to increase obviously Black wealth. And really, I would just say one of the things I like about what you're doing, Tyran, is that I just feel like we're always stuck on step one whenever we talk about this stuff, and you've never really done that. You've always been progressive. Okay, we know this, now let's go here. And same thing with Freddie. I get so tired, and Freddie, obviously you got the history going. I get so tired of people acting like we don't have no Black business. It's like, and I had to tell this group last week. I said, look, there's Black businesses out there, but if you're looking for a block of Black businesses where they just standing out with their fists in the air, that's not modern society anymore. Like their businesses running. So I just always appreciate forums like this where we can focus on that fact and kind of build versus start, right? Let's build and because I want a 7-figure business too. So,
man, don't we all? Yes.
You will have multiple 7-figure businesses.
Multiple. Okay, well then.
There you go. Don't aim low, brother. Aim
Right. I got to get there first.
I hear that. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah. And actually, Freddie, that's why I kind of want to start at one with the entrepreneur thing. So many people are told being an entrepreneur is where we need to be. And although fact, what a lot of people don't tell is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We just think that, hey, we just go start a business tomorrow, we're gonna start making money, and then that's that. I'm very biased to your story because I know your story, but to a person that's thinking, okay, well, I want to start a business right now just because I want to be CEO. I think a lot of times that's all people want to do. They just want to have that title. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, and from being in this lane now, if you could talk to, I don't know, 21-year-old Freddie who's starting everything now, how would you guide him?
Do you want the aggressive conversation or like?
I want how you gonna talk to Freddie. Yeah, I want how you gonna talk to Freddie.
You know how it is. As you age, you become more conservative, right? And like what I tell people now is, don't quit that day job. Because don't quit that day job, man. If you're serious, grind in the midnight hours, and let's see how serious you are. Because, brother, it's a hard knocks life, living an entrepreneurial existence, and it ain't for everybody. But if you really want to test it, I say keep them bills paid, keep that savings going, and work your tail off in the evening hours, and then start to reinvest any profits if you can get the profit, right? Because we talk about top line revenue, right? 7-figure business, top line revenue. That ain't what I'm taking home. I've learned that most people think I'm a millionaire. Like I walk outside, they be like, bro, he a millionaire, but you a millionaire. Like I be like, I move millions around.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to go on camera because I'm laughing so much.
Yeah. It's not our money. We don't get to keep it.
Hey, bro, listen. I have yet to figure out how to consistently keep the million.
Yeah.
But I'm good at moving it around. Hey, first problem first, right? You gotta be able to collect it.
There you go.
I'm learning and growing on better ways to maintain it and keep more of it. but I'm effectively a great mover of money. I ain't mastered putting that money in my pocket yet, right? So with all that being said, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for me. But like while you young, you know, I'm gonna say a lot of stuff, but while you young, I suggest if your parents allow, stay your tail in their house and grind and work and build that dream. Get the job, save the money, invest, learn how to do all of that, and build your dream business while you saving that bread, sucking in that free AC and eating that food.
Boy.
Because once you leave, brother, it's a hard knocks life out there, man.
It's game on.
Ain't nobody doing you no damn favors. So I get it. You know, we got the boss, you know, and you know, if you ain't a millionaire about 25, I don't even know what they're doing nowadays, you know, which is absolutely ridiculous. And as my mentor always says, he said, man, whether you 25, 35, or 55, when you cross that millionaire status, it feels good, right? I'm definitely telling the young people, stay at home if your parents allow it. Some parents are like, you gotta get out. I'm not one of those parents. I want my boys to stay home, save that money, build that credits, do all the right things that we wish we would have done. Trying to rush out and be grown, because once you go, man, them bills is crazy and they don't stop. Build a lifestyle if you're rushing out there too quickly, and you haven't built up your intellectual prowess. No diss to young people, right? But you just don't know shit. Let's be honest. Right. And you got to, build a reputation, because your reputation follows you wherever you go. So I would just stay in the nest for as long as they allow, and save that money, man. You got to do it, or take the shots that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Because man, you at home, you can take some shots that you could never do if you got to pay your rent and this and that. Listen, I got to say this too, man. Don't be having them babies young now. Well, you better wrap it up. You better avoid it, or you better do something. Don't be having them babies young, because it's not that children are a bad thing, but now it's a responsibility.
Yeah, they're expensive,
man. Listen. I know I'm all over the place, man. I just I want to say 100 things.
Go for it.
Yeah, you're talking to your nephews. I told you now, so do it.
Yeah, man. Listen, get that woman that's in your corner, or get that brother that's in your corner. But man, hold off on them babies until y'all sure, and you got some sort of consistent revenue coming in. But I'm definitely a fan of entrepreneurship. I just can attest to you. You ain't about to just open your shingle and start making money. Wow. And if you got a job, if y'all out there, you got a job, you got an income, you making, I'm just going to pick a number. Don't y'all be offended. $60,000 a year. Do you understand what it takes to be a business owner and make $60,000 a year? It ain't $60,000 in income, because you got bills, marketing, overhead, expenses, like all types of stuff, right? To make $60,000 with a 20% margin, right? Think about that. You're talking about what, $300,000 that you have to make on top line revenue. If you're going to net 20%, that's 60 grand. It would take a $300,000 business, give or take, depending on your profit margin, to match your $60,000 income. Stay at that job, stay in your parents' house, stack, save, so that you can invest.
So, and just to even hit on that, and that's why I was asking, because a lot of people feel that when we tell them, or whoever tells them to be an entrepreneur, that means, well, quit your job and just worry about being an entrepreneur. It's like, no, that's not what you're saying. Yeah. So in your essence, because I know you worked out in the real world and everything for quite some time, and Maurice, I would take it that you did as well.
Actually, I didn't, brother.
No, well, I mean, I know.
I did it the hard way. I did it. I did it the balls to the wall. I can't work for the man. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm a boss. And I had babies. You know what I mean? And so I'm outside with it. I'm married to your sister. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
pursuit of happiness.
Brother, I'm actually 29. That's what this gray hair came out.
I feel you.
Yeah. Hey, turns out them babies like to eat.
Yeah, every day.
Every day. And you gotta come through. It's a stress that You ain't really, hey man, you ain't really ready for that type of stuff. I don't wish it on nobody. I wouldn't change my path because it's how I got where I'm at today. But man, if I could go back, I probably would have got a gig first. You know, and establish some, especially with babies. That's the thing. If you're single and you could just, you know, sleep on couches or whatever you gonna sacrifice and do, but you got them babies, man. And I'm not with not taking care of your babies. That ain't what's up.
Yeah. We can't even be cool at that point.
None of that, you know. But yeah. So I've had, okay, I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna be quiet, but you got me fired up. I've had 2 jobs in my life. You know what I mean? I had one in high school and one in college. And that job was I mean, they were both just like summer gigs, filling it in. And I just went, you know, got my MBA, did all of that, went straight into entrepreneurship. And man, whoo, it's been a grind, brother. It's been a grind. So when people be like, man, you just came up, I came up? Really? Like this 20 years in the making. You ain't looking at that. You're ignoring all of that. Man, you just bought some flashcards and made money, bro. Like this got to be at least my 13th, 14th business. You know what I mean? Like I've been hustling, dog.
Yeah, boy, and that's why I said I like talking to you two, because everybody got that path of, like, Maurice was a damn engineer of all things. You know, he was an engineer. So, and at some point we all said, you know what, this ain't quite it. You know, so that was dope. So I would say, Maurice, and your story the same as far as your journey to your entrepreneur path?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're still talking. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to ask because you got your own firm and everything. So I know I would imagine it was a struggle to get there. You know, that didn't just happen overnight. So I'm curious to hear how that went.
I would just because Freddie, he's got what I like about Freddie is that I'm in a service-based business. Freddie's got a product business, and even that 300,000 he was talking about. And let me rephrase it. You probably have a service now as well. I see a lot of your emails. You got the trips and stuff. So I don't want to pigeonhole you, but in the beginning, right?
In the beginning,
and so that 300,000 he's talking about, let's remember that's just 1 year. That has to come back next year as well. All the more reason to keep that job. So I would say I like what Freddie said, and I used to tell people this. If you can just replace your salary, 60,000, 50,000 with your job, you are raging success. And so I always tell people that's the first level of success. And you could stay there. You run your own shop. You're making what you were making in corporate. That's good. I think the Instagrams and social medias have made people think they have to be, whatever they're trying to be now. Like,
right.
No. I mean, I just wanted to control my own. I have 3 rules: no cubicles, no commutes, no parking garages. That's my day. So but to the thing about staying at home, I'll take it even a step further. I would tell my wife this when she would have problems at her job. I said, we got my parents' backyard. Like, we can stay in my parents' backyard. Like, we ain't got to take nothing off nobody. So as long as you got that, and getting into the advice that you're telling faith, family, finance, faith in, some people have more faith in the creator than the creator has in them, right? So they don't, so I tell my kids, when you look in the mirror, you see the person that was created, you see the person that the world sees, and then you see the person that you see. You want to get over what the world sees and line up what the creator sees. And then you always tapping into your potential, because we're black and all, but really, you're Freddie, you're Tyran, you're Maurice, that's who you see. You don't go around saying I'm Black Maurice and whatnot. So once you tap into all of that, now you drop into your family. That's what Freddie was getting at. Stay at home. As a financial advisor, I will tell you, your kids at home till 30. If they're not at home, they're physically on the payroll till about 30.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with it. Only America treats that as a negative. Other countries, other societies, and I know we've all traveled, that's not the game. They're multi-generational families. It's I remember one of my earliest, experiences with the Indian family. They went from we were in these $150,000 homes, and they moved out to a $700,000 home. And I'm like, how did y'all do that? They were like, look, in the Indian culture, parents help out. It's not a big deal. So get over that stigma.
Yeah.
And in finance, always have your money right. Like Freddie said, like, don't be broke. Always have something coming in. I like Jay-Z, so he said keep a bag coming. Next day, keep another bag coming. So that, so that's my advice. Right? Yeah, it's definitely struggle, and but I will say one last thing: have a number. Like I joke around about having 7 figures, but I know what my number. I have 2 numbers: the net worth and the annual income. And I don't care if somebody's 10x that. I have that. That's what Maurice wants, and you working towards that. You never have to feel like you got to compromise yourself to reach for something that you didn't want. And so, that's my kind of add-on to that. So,
that's the thing I love, because everything we speak of, like, saying we lived it. I actually lived it. I was the dad. I was the military dad. I was the one that was, hey man, I had an 18 and 30, as I called it. Turn 18, got 30 days, get out. You know what I'm saying? So that was just the rule. But it wasn't until I think I retired, and then my wife started talking. She's like, "Why are you rushing the kids out the house?" You know what I'm saying? Being a traditional mom type of role, very loving and nurturing. Me being dad, it's like, no, man, they got to get out here. They got to F up. They got to do this. I ain't going to be around forever. It wasn't until she kind of talked to me and put it in my head that, no, you know what I'm saying? You thinking crazy or whatever. So our kids actually left or went to college. And then once they left, what did we do? We should have downsized. We bought a bigger house. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause once they left, exactly that happened. I was at a point, I was like, hey, you know what? I want my kids back home, man. This world is crazy. Yeah. I want my kids in the street. So, so we did just that, and we're doing just that very plan. I tell my kids, if I went to combat, I did all of this, and this is what I built off of my stress and my PTSD, then it would be disrespectful for you not to live every dream that you've ever wanted to live with the alley-oop that I tossed up. So
yes,
you guys definitely hit that. All of this is at home, because it goes into the whole thing of not just being business, being entrepreneurs, but we're fathers, but it's, at the end of the day, we still have that stigma. We still Black fathers. So you guys are making businesses, going out in the world, doing everything that you're doing, which is already stressful. But then you're a father of 2 young, men or women and coming up in this world. So my question is, and I'll go with you first, Maurice, how do you maneuver that every day and still be effective?
So I always say family time is the only time you can't get back. So I really, make it a priority. So what I do is I balance it against my other kind of organizations that I'm a part of. So 100 Black Men and Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. It's not that I don't participate, but I'll tell them, like, look, the kids are in school during the day. I can make phone calls during the day. I can organize stuff during the day. And when we don't have weekend activities, I can participate on Saturday mornings and whatnot. Other than that, I shut down. Now, I'll be fair. When I was building it, like when Freddie said they were babies, like I was 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I didn't even come downstairs when they weren't conscious, right? In the cradle or whatever. I didn't even come downstairs and they came home. But once they started getting off the school bus, well, I got to fold up my laptop and whatnot. So I always try to make them a priority from the time the school bus gets here till dinner time, and then I can pick back up what I'm doing. And so that's how I do it. And I practice that to this day, because once you see I have a 17-year-old, once you see how fast they go from 8 to 18, if you will, it's like, I can't miss that. And all the movies are about successful dads missing time with the family. And that's not going to be me. And I got daughters, so I really want to be, there. So
I feel that. And Freddie question is different, because now Freddie, he's the same, but I don't know. Now I always say my sister, Freddie's married to my sister, obviously. My sister's like some kind of super nerd. She's always been a super nerd, you know what I'm saying? Then she meets Freddie, who's like a super nerd, I guess, of a male version. And then they have kids. These kids grow up, and what did his son skip? He skipped 1 grade or 2 grades? Freddie?
Man, they both graduated at 16.
Wow.
Yeah, Maurice, the boys, I'm telling you, they're bad, man. They just straight, they know business, they know everything. I think 6th grade, they were playing high schoolers and college people in chess or something crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
smoking them. So that background is where they come from. So again, Freddie, my question to you, because I know you were doing all of that, still being positive, active in the community, everything, but I guess as a like, how was that? How did you balance that for a person that just having their first child and they stressing out? Like, how did you manage all of that?
I didn't manage it. you know, it was a priority. So it's kind of like what's important to you, you got to make that the first thing, and then everything else got to fit around that. It's funny because I was disillusioned in something in parenting. Because my dad retired in 1985, right? I was 8 years old when he retired. And all I remember is him being at everything. And you know, you're a kid, so what do you know about retirement? None of that meant nothing to me. All I know is every practice I was at, every game, every tournament, every award ceremony, every single thing. My dad's there, my mom's there. Like, so I just when a married sister, we had babies. What you do is you there. Right. So I had to construct a lifestyle that would allow me to be there. And that's, you know, the entrepreneurial lifestyle was really the only answer. And I was there at everything. I didn't miss anything, right? I'm at the chess tournaments. I was walking around the golf courses. You know, I'm the only parent out there walking around the golf course. And it took some of my son's friends to say, do you notice that your dad's the only parent here? Like, what? And it ain't even like he was good at golf. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, we just support, right? Like, I'm on the field trips. I'm on the PTA. I did my 10 years on the PTA. Crystal did 10 plus. Like, you just at everything, right? So then this is hilarious. So then last summer I did my dad's 94 now. So at 93 we did a documentary, like had a film crew come out and talk about his whole life. Man, don't you know, I found out that I got 6 sisters and brothers. I found out he wasn't at none of their stuff. He was only at mine because he had finally retired. He had been working. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, this is the blueprint. I thought that was hilarious. So I just shifted my whole world to be there. And like, he was like, oh man, shit, you was the last one. And killed me, man. I was like, man, I built my whole life around it.
He's like, hey, man, I just had time, you know?
Yeah. And so I just figured, like, man, I just got to figure out how to make it work, right? So, you know, of course, your sister's super supportive, and she was always there and in it, and all of that. But yeah, you just got to decide what's important and then build a life around it. Because there's never enough time, right? It don't matter what we're going for. There's never enough time. You got to make time. That's the only way.
Man. Boy, I don't think I heard it no better than that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's fact, bro. And I know with me, my stepdad pretty much raised me a lot. And he was the same. It didn't matter track meet. It didn't matter where it was. He was there. He was there. And that bar was set. So now I'm kind of thinking I probably should go talk to him because he probably had time too. And that's the reason he was there. But yeah, man, that's
and I think particularly for the men out there, I think it's important to remember that, you know, your job and making money and all of that is important, and protecting and this and that. But fatherhood is your number one responsibility. You are raising the next generation, and you are literally raising somebody else's daddy, somebody's husband, somebody's neighbor, or somebody's wife, you know, because you're raising daughters as well. And your fatherhood is your number one, your most important responsibility. And if you don't take that seriously, then, you know, I don't think that anybody should take you seriously.
I like that. That's good.
I mean, that's the standard of mine. I don't. If you don't treat your kids, you don't respect your kids, you don't see. I don't even. Man, it ain't nothing I can do with you because that's me. I am so big on my kids that I would tell my kids like, you guys are my best friend. I'll never be your best friend, but you're my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all inspire me to do stuff, but. Yeah, man. But either way, let me slide on because I'll be on that fatherhood stuff all day.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck moving the conversation along.
So the thing I want to know now is, I guess Maurice, I'll definitely start with you. Is so I'm trying to show people, I guess, more growth. The things that I've noticed that, again, 11 years retired. When I retired, I realized my retirement, it wasn't really a retirement. It was just an account that I was putting money in. Basically, it was a retirement account, but it served no purpose to me when I retired. And I think a lot of that came because, well, really, I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm positive we have financial advisors and things like that in the military, but typical stuff, I probably didn't go see them and effed off that time. So, but get to retirement, I realized like, oh snap, this what $300 a month? Like, yeah, that's money, but what the hell I'm gonna do with that? So, me personally, I had to learn how to take that and then grow it. But the way I do it, you know, again, I'm a hustle man, so that's kind of how I came up, and that's my mentality. I don't want my kids to be that way. So even when I looked at my wife's retirement, she had questions, and I had questions, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like I'm already retired. So what is a 401k? So I say all of this to say, I don't know, like what should a person that's probably in their 20s, mid-20s or so on be doing? Because us late bloomers, we know we got to do double of whatever he got to do, we got to do double. So if you're 25, 26 and you're just starting off life, I don't know, as a financial advisor, like what's that route?
Oh, definitely. So I think the biggest disconnect, in all of this is that we were presented. I'm a 90s, I'm an 80s baby, but I came of age, like I started working at Chrysler in 2000. I interned in the 90s. I remember when 401ks came out. I remember the .com. Everybody talks about the crash. I remember when it was just inflating because everybody was trading at lunchtime. Now this is trading back before high-speed internet. And, we got AOL.
The good old days.
So we had a gentleman try to, as a brother, he went on to start his own car dealership, and he tried to educate us about 401ks. First disconnect is it's presented to you as a point of pain, sacrifice, like, hey, you got to save 10% or whatever. Secondly, people don't understand the future of money, like compounding and things of that nature, because as humans, we're focused on a very narrow, most of us are focused on Friday, right? Getting to Friday. And then this thing with the stock market presents a lot of risk because it never stays still. It's always up and down. We don't understand any of the words, right? NAV and market trades, limit trades, and back then it was just mutual funds. What is a mutual? So it's something that is, I got to sacrifice something to get there. I don't understand it, and it's a big risk. So all of that says, I'm just not going to mess with it, right? What we need to do now is, and you hear it a lot, is you are building wealth, right? You don't have, it's not optional to build wealth. So yes. But what is building wealth? So just like Freddie talked about, you just want to replace your income. We both kind of agreed. That's the first step as an entrepreneur. Your first step is to become a millionaire, like liquid, not your mortgage or your property value, but $1 million. And if you just focus on becoming $1 million as quickly as possible, then what I tell people is pathway to 10 million, right? A lot of people roll their eyes when I say getting to 10 million, but the truth is, once you get to $1 million, 3 million is around the corner. And once you're at 3 million, it's almost a mathematical equation to get to 10 million. And you don't even have to really be smart. You just have to not be dumb, like spending all the money. And there's so many ways around it. But I like putting a number on all of this. And so, hey, Maurice, should I do this? Okay, does this take you away from your goal? Let's say they're like Freddie, right? Freddie comes to me, he's taught your nephews or, his nephews, your sons, and says, okay, my Uncle Freddie said, don't quit my job. I'm like, right. Now, let's say you come to me 5 years later and you want to start this business and you are going to quit your job. You're going against what Freddie said. My standard advice is I'm going to give you 5 years. So we push out your goals 5 years. So the $1 million gets pushed out 5 years, but it's always still the goal. So I would just say, to keep it succinct, focus on getting to the first $1 million, and if you get to the first $1 million, then everything starts to fall into place. And so things like retirement take a back seat because you're going to be a millionaire, and I'm going to show you how to get to 10 million. So that you make it more, I won't say exciting, but you make it more focused, and then they can just, okay, how do I get there? So you don't stop at just putting 10%. You want to put more in. You want to get into the trading, right? How can I leverage up? How can I make this money do more money? A lot of people don't know you can use your stocks to get more money to buy more stocks. They just don't know that. but they know everything about home equity and paying off.
Okay. So even on that, because I try to tell people that investing, it shouldn't be your only thing that you do. That should be just one of the many things you do, because you can use that to leverage future things, whether, I don't know, home, whatever in the future. So if you can you just elaborate on that a little bit as to how you can leverage things like that?
All right, so leverage the stocks, definitely. Everybody's in a 401k, that's great. And so I'm going to dance around not giving you direct advice, but let's say an advisor said, hey, just put up to the company match. If your company's giving free money on your first 5%, most advisors say don't do more than 5%. Okay, so where does that leave you? Well, if you put it in what's called a standard investment account, which is just go to Interactive Brokers, Fidelity. I recommend Interactive Brokers for this part of the conversation because they offer the lowest cost on borrowing against your account. Right now, they're charging 6.8. But literally, you can buy, everybody loves NVIDIA right now. Everybody loves Microsoft, and they used to love Tesla. So you got a portfolio of that. Let's say you got 10, 20, 40,000. I'll use a real example. I got a client, they got 100,000 in all of those stocks. They got 14,000 in cash. Well, Interactive will let them borrow 47,000 against that account to do whatever they want. So they could buy more stocks. They could theoretically help out. Freddie, I'm gonna use some of Freddie's language. Like, let's say I gotta buy this product before the revenue come in, and I don't want to take money out of my high performing portfolio. And like you moving the millions around, that applies there. So it's called margin. And as long as your portfolio is holding tight, it doesn't even have to keep going up. It just has to stay above a certain threshold. Your broker's not going to bother you. And when you do get in trouble, they're going to bother you, but they'll just say, hey, deposit some money or sell some stocks. So you can leverage that portfolio to do a lot of things and keep your little 401k growing, but also start doing multiple things. So it's a beautiful thing. I do it personally.
That's why, I just always stress, especially to my kids, it's something to have. It's another tool to leverage, or it's another tool to use. I got a buddy that when his business kind of went, I think it was on the start of going down. He actually had a few $1,000s in his stock account. He cashed in on those. He was able to save his business. So it's like that nest egg, that cushion that you just never know. If you can save it till you retire, cool. Sometimes life don't work that way. So it's always good to have another bucket to pull from,
Definitely.
So I got a good one for Freddie. I'm trying to see what it's at. Now, Freddie, the question is, like, how did you know your business? How did you know Black History cards was the lick for you? Like, that was your niche. Like, out of everything you could sell, how did you know that was the one? No, am I missing, Freddie? You muted?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
I tried a lot of stuff. I tried it all, and like my thing I would say I failed a lot. Right. And like we used failure as a dirty word. Listen, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you better get comfortable with failure. You better get comfortable with failure. I'm talking about coming up shout, not like you better get comfortable with failure, because failure ain't what your friends use against you for jokes. Like you don't want to trip in front of your friends, or you don't want the woman to sit you down because they gonna clown you, or that's gonna happen too. Like, but failure is indication in business. Failure is an indication that ain't work. But you might not have just positioned it right. Maybe you gotta learn from the lesson. So you gotta fail quickly so that you can iterate again and put it back out there. Well, what about, okay, that was plan A. What about B? What about C? What about 1C? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to keep going. So I mentioned that, this is probably my 13th, 14th business. Like, I literally tried a lot, but I learned in college. There was a quote I read, and I wish I had to go back and figure out who said this, but they say it takes the average millionaire 17 attempts before they make their first million. And when I remember being in college, and I remember reading that quote, and I remember thinking, who fails 16 times in a row and keep going? Because in today's society, if you knew you was gonna win on your 17th attempt, most people ain't got 16 failures.
They ain't got it. No.
They ain't got it because folks talking and chirping, and you worried about what they saying online. If that's what you about, go get you a job. and figure out how to get your investments correctly, like the brother said, so you can become an asset millionaire first, then a liquid millionaire, and all of that good stuff. But if you're gonna get in this business thing, there's that word FAIL. You better, boy, that better be your middle name. So I have done a lot of things and missed and lost and came up short and thought this was great and you know, Black history and really just the culture and the conversation was always my thing. So earlier, I think Kimmy dropped the question, how long did it take you to make your first million? It took me 17 years. Do you know what I mean? 17 years. You know, so in 2011, internet entrepreneur, because I didn't want to just I didn't want to just own a business. I wanted to own a business online. Because I used to own a real estate appraisal company. So I used to be outside all the time. So I've been in the service business with higher margins because I'm doing all the work. But I needed that income, right? So I basically owned my job. I was an entrepreneur, but I owned my job, right? Nobody told me nothing, but I worked all the time, right? Which is, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Understood.
Yeah, but in 2011, this sister told me, actually it was a white woman. She told me, she said, Freddie, you got some traction going with this urban elixir thing. I was just playing around on Facebook, being loud, asking provocative questions. That's what I do. And she said, you need a product to sell them, though. You need a product. And I was like, I'm talking about Black issues, state of, you know, current affairs, throwing in some history, this and that. And I'm like, what in the world am I going to sell them? Like, what, you know what I mean? What would I sell in this space? And my first thing I thought about was flashcards. I was like, I could do Black History Flash. I thought about this in 2011. And I was like, nah, ain't nobody gonna buy no damn flashcards. And I didn't take the shot. It wasn't until 2017 or 2016 when I couldn't even think of nothing else. I was like, what am I gonna do? So I waited 5 years, and then it took me a year to create my first deck and print it. And we made $1 million. Like it was like damn near immediately. Like it was crazy. Yeah, like it was damn near immediate. But I sat on it and failed in a lot of other areas. But see, those failures become stepping stones because I can point to each business I did, each idea I had, and I can show you how we use that today in the business. Because now I understand, oh, it was done wrong in that, but if I shift it like this, I can do it. But I don't get there if I don't take those shots. And most people just are afraid to take them shots because they're afraid to fail. You think you got to be perfect. Let me tell you something. You made $100 million. Would you care if it was your 10,000th attempt or your first one, right? It's I don't care.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. And so I hit you with the other quote. The second quote I'll say is, when it comes to this wealth and money thing or entrepreneurship, you only need to be right one time. One time. I'm gonna say. I might be a little bubbly, so I'm gonna go and just drop it like this. I'm from the hood. We used to shoot dice. One time, you know what I mean? One time. Hey, like, let's go. Boom, you know what I mean? And it's game over, right? Game over. One time. So you got to take that shot, though. You can't, if you ain't in it, you can't win it. Yeah. You know, so you gotta go, man. So, all right, I'm fired up today.
that's the beauty I love about it, because I tell everybody, man, failing is that ain't nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like Brady, we look at Brady and everybody say, I want to be a quarterback. I want to get 6-7 rings, but you don't see Brady, you know, throwing picks in practice. You don't see him getting sacked. You don't see all of that, the 2-a-days, 3-a-days, so on. So yeah, a lot of people only see the end of it, the beauty of it. Yeah. As they say, the beauty is in the struggle, you know, in the come up. So yeah, that's what they say.
Oh man, it's an overnight success. It's 20 years in the making. You know what I mean? What Kobe say? You wasn't in the gym?
Yeah, you wasn't shooting in the gym.
You wasn't in the gym when Kobe was shooting? Come on. Boy, he didn't just show up as one of the greatest ever, man. That boy worked. You know, he failed a lot. You know, I think as a community, as a society here, and particularly in America, we are doing people a disservice by pretending they need to be flawless and perfect.
There you go, perfect. There you go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't care. I get to 100 million. I don't care what nobody say. Like, I mean, and the thing about it is, you only got to be right once, and you got unlimited shots.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
They get you in the room.
Yeah, and life is short. Life is short. Life is short. I'm gonna say that again. Life is short. So you can't go to bed. You don't leave this life with bullets in the holster.
Man,
Unload.
that's what I'm talking about. So Maurice, Freddie is the dude. So in the room, Freddie, so we go to this thing called Traffic Sales and Profit, TSP. So
I'm going this year. Well, you know that.
Yeah, Maurice is
Okay.
gonna be there this week.
Oh, I can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, I can't wait. But you're going to see when you get there, Maurice, you're in a room full of nothing but entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, rich entrepreneurs, just anything you can call with an entrepreneur, they're there.
They there.
All right.
You go to Freddie for answers. They all go to Freddie's for answers. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what's up.
Yeah, like so when you hear stuff like that's the dude they go to for answers, and he's saying, "Hey man, I failed, I tripped, I did." I feel like, at least for my kids, I'm always telling them, I hope that it humbles you enough to know that it's okay, man. You can F up, it's okay. You can have failures wherever, it's okay. Let's just not continue to have these damn failures. So
learn from the mistakes.
Learn from them.
They building blocks. They really are. They really, like, I used to own a real estate investment magazine. I own a magazine, right? I own a magazine because I went to the library and bought a book on how to start a magazine. like straight like that. Like, oh yeah, you mentioned, Tyrone, you talked about, you've done all these things because of your grit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. Yeah, there's no blueprint to get nothing done. You just gotta go pig-headed determination. I'm about to figure this thing out, come hell or high water. And you ain't even got to go to the library no more. You got it on. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I said library because I couldn't afford the books.
that was ebooks before ebooks was ebooks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I had to go to the library. Like, but it's out there, man. It's just it comes down to hustle. But those lessons that I learned building the magazine is how I built the team. That's how we create content. We pull it together. We edit it. And we got a system. We got SOPs all wrapped around. I learned it all from when I did the magazine. Mm-hmm. It all comes with you. How to recruit people, get them excited about a vision and an idea. It all came from that business. It wasn't my real estate appraisal business because I did that as a solopreneur. I started bringing other people in the next business, and that's when I started to learn how to be verbose about what we aiming for, what we, that casting the vision and all of that, getting people excited and stuff like that, right? But it comes from these failures along the way.
I respect that, man. And I know we shooting time, so if I want to get to some good questions on y'all, man, because I know y'all got stuff to do. Let's go, Maurice. Let's see. I got a few for you, man. When I tell you I was getting questions from everywhere,
they got somebody. There's a good question on the screen.
Okay. There you go. Once you take money out of your stock account, how much taxes state fed are owed? Maurice, I don't know. I guess that's you on that one.
Okay, yeah, depending on what state you're in, there may not be a state tax. The key to know about the selling is that when you sell, nothing's going to happen unless you're in a 401k where they will mandate a 20% federal withholding. But if you're just selling in a regular investment account, what'll happen is they'll give you, let's say your profit is really not profit, gross proceeds are $10,000. They're gonna deposit that into your bank account or leave it in your investment account until you make a withdrawal. Then you'll get a 1099 somewhere, typically by January 30th, the next year, saying, okay, you made this much money on this sell, and you'll file that with your taxes, and then it'll run through your grid. So it depends on the holding periods and whatnot, but typically people can expect, about 20 to 25% federal and, 0 to 5% on state. And so, but it'll wash through your overall tax return. So,
okay.
Which is why, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. Go to my website.
Please go to his website. Kimmy, can you please put Maurice's website in the chat?
You go to my website, you'll see all we talk about is tax-free and tax-efficient investments because there's a way to get around that. There's a lot of ways to get around it. So I won't dig here, but yeah. So
okay, because to caveat on that, so right now, let's say I'm asking what's a good vehicle to use because there are actually people out there our age that don't have a retirement right now. So what would be if I'm a 50-year-old, or even let's say 48, somewhere from 48 to 52, maybe I make, like to say 60K a year. Let's just say 60K.
Right.
We know that's not a lot, but what would be a good vehicle to use to help us start establishing some type of wealth for our retirement or so now?
Definitely. So the order of investments for me are always pretty concrete. Immaterial of well, it's material of income, but the first step is whatever free money your employer is offering, contribute enough to get that. That gives you a 100% return. So if your employer is offering dollar for dollar match on the first 5%, well, then your 5% is going to get 100% return, right? So that's easy. Then move to the Roth IRA. What I like about the Roth, and that's ROTH IRA, assuming you qualify, and you'll know if you qualify because you either make less than about 115 as an individual earner. If you're married, less than about 221, and you could check me on those numbers. But if you're in those ranges, the Roth IRA, you qualify for it. The Roth IRA the easiest thing to know is they'll get you around all of the state and federal taxes when you pull the money out. And then after that, a standard investment account like we were talking about earlier, where you can drop money in there and borrow against it. The key about borrowing against it is, theoretically, if you had $1 million account going into quote unquote retirement and you wanted to keep your income at like $25,000 a year, well, you could sell enough to make $25,000 and you can borrow the rest against your investments and never have to pay taxes on that loan, right? So now you got $1 million account, you're borrowing $40,000 on top of the $25,000, but you're only paying taxes on the $25,000. So that's how you control your taxes. So all of that is free money, tax-free money, and then tax-efficient money. And so that's the order of investing.
Okay.
He make it sound so simple.
He make it sound simple, don't he?
Hey, Freddie, 17 years, 16 mistakes.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk.
He got it. Okay. So let's stay on that one. My wife is out there somewhere. So, honey, if you out there, please put your question in the chat, because she had a good one and I can't find it. But
yeah, really. Hey, for the entrepreneurs out there, I have a Roth IRA too. It's like a good opportunity for us self-employed folks to play that stock game for the long term as well.
That was going to be my on my follow on as well. So, Freddie, I'm glad you brought that up, because as an entrepreneur, well, just elaborate, because as an entrepreneur, you can have that type of stuff, not just for yourself, but your employees. I take it, correct?
You can. We ain't there yet.
Okay.
I ain't matching.
Hey, I was going to jump in. You got the Roth 401k.
Yeah. I want to. It's in the plans. We got to keep more of that money first. Then we can pull that out. But I definitely want to. I want to build a real company, right? Like I'm not a hustle entrepreneur. I want to build systems that operate. That build wealth, you know what I mean? I call them money machines, right? So you come in and build a system, it spins around, kicks off money. But I also want that to work for my employees. We still grinding and growing, but yeah, I do the combination. Well, Roth is like my main thing, and I got some crypto and Bitcoin and all that good stuff. I mean, I'm in there dabbling around. I got in Bitcoin in 2016. People, I ain't trying to tell you go buy nothing now. I wish I would have got in 2012 when I was first introduced. But 16 one day, it was like $4,000, right? So, winning out here. It is not terrible. But then, like, I played the life insurance game as well, investing in there. Whole life insurance. You got to read a book called What Would the Rockefellers Do? Pretty great read, actually. And you can borrow against your same kind of concept. You build up your I'm gonna say equity,
cash value.
Cash value of the life insurance, then you can borrow against it, and all of that money is tax-free. So it's a couple of games out here, and I'm not able to advise or speak any further on any of that. Read the book; it's a good insight. But I would say, and one of my things is the best investment you can make is in you.
Yeah.
And then the second best investment you can make is in professionals that know what they're doing. And building a team. So, brother, you contact Brother Maurice. You ain't got to guess. You just got to invest.
I like that.
I like that. Maurice, man, keep that. Just put that on the t-shirt.
Kimmy, get that in the transcript.
Put that on the t-shirt, Kimmy.
I'm taking that, man. Oh my gosh.
So Maurice and Freddie. So I guess what I'm trying to do. So one of the things I like to do, man, I have a lot of veteran friends, and a lot of them are coming up on retirement. They just retired. We all have the same thing. We're gonna get out, and here's what we're gonna do. And then we find out life don't work that way. So to my friends, to the veterans that are leaving the military, I guess, and even the ones that are in, what am I trying to say? I guess what I wanted to build, I said I want my guide to retirement. And what my guide to retirement would be is, if once you're leaving the military, you have a job, like whatever you think is going to happen, I got 11 years of experience to tell you why it's not going to happen that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you could do it your way, you know, kind of like Freddie said, or you could go get the professionals that know what they're doing, and they can cut out that learning curve. You know what I'm saying? They can cut out that money you're going to lose. So that was a lot of this to that. So anyway, to veterans that are leaving with the inspiration of being entrepreneurs, you already stated that, hey, you got to understand that you're going to lose money. You're going to, you know, be ready for the long run. But it's more to that than that. And I guess my thing is, what is it? You got your business established. You're going to lead the military. You got your business established. You do all of this. I guess what is the best thing for an entrepreneur to do to ensure that he don't hit that brick wall or that ceiling that's coming? And when he do hit it, he can kind of maneuver around it, if that makes sense. So I guess my question. Yeah, I guess my
that's right.
So,
go ahead.
No, and we already stated that, yeah, it's hard work and everything, but I don't know. We say classes, is there like I don't know, is it some AI you should jump on when you're getting out to do this? Is it professional development class you should jump out with? Because it's not just starting a job and making it. We know that.
Yeah.
So
I think you hit it with the professional development. And let me just say, of course, there's some AI that you need to get involved with. You need to, but it comes down to the best investment in you. So you either gonna just, you know, hit the books and start reading, like, which is okay. Let me back up. You have, as an entrepreneur, you have to continuously learn. This needs to become just part of your day. I wake up, I drink water, I read my book, I work out, then I go to work or whatever, and then I got my evening. Wherever you put that read, study, learn piece, you need at least 30 minutes every day growing, because this environment changes so quickly that you have to stay in tune with it. I am big on mentors. I am big on investing in people who have already done what you're trying to do, and then sit at their feet and stop trying to be smart. Right? Be disciplined and listen to people who have already done it. And most folks aren't willing to make that investment. I spend about $50,000 a year, actually more than that. That's kind of crazy, for this professional development and mentorship and things like that. You're not going to start there. Maybe you are. I don't know. Let me not count your bag, right? If you are, let me talk to you. But but the investment is, you know, it's not magic. It's like you got to invest. Now, you might buy a book every month, right? I tell people that you should read at minimum 2 books a month. At minimum. That's 500 pages a month. You can break that down to 25 pages a day, 5 days a week. You can read 2 books a month. And if you focus on entrepreneurship, you can learn to do discipline every month. But you got to be focused. It's got to be continual. It's got to be consistent. I would say you open a business. This is where I think most people go wrong. They open a business and then they start making money and then they go spend the money. And it's like, you got to reinvest that money.
Yeah.
But what does the reinvestment look like? The reinvestment looks like, oh, I just started making $3,000 a month. That's not a new Birkin bag, or I don't even know if I'm saying that right, because I ain't into that nonsense, right? I think that's totally aware. I don't give a damn about that. I don't care, right? I'm trying to build something special. Right. You got to take that $3,000 and then hire somebody. That's now a salary that you paid. Like, you still ain't paid yourself. Now you still ain't making no money. Right. And now we working and you just still hustling again. Now you get another $3,000, $4,000. Then you hire somebody else. Right. And then you start to build out this system. And then all of a sudden you get to a point where now there's more money kicking out and you got a system built out. But I could give you the stuff to read. Right. Like, Like my first book, I would say you got to read is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, and this is about building systems. Right, you have to understand how to build a system that kicks off money. My favorite book is called oh man, I wish I was home. The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. Like these, listen, I can kick these books off and it will cut your learning curve like crazy if you just treat it like the Bible and start reading, growing, and learning with these. Them two books right there, listen, I go back to the Ultimate Sales Machine every couple of years, but right now we are literally going chapter by chapter through this book, implementing it in our business. I would say, I got another one. I can't, oh man. Oh, I'm so fired up. My brain is all over the place.
Write that one down.
Yeah, no, the Ultimate Sales Machine is liquid gold. Oh, Good to Great, Jim Collins. Bro, we talk, we in the deep end. Now, I've averaged for the last 22 years, I've averaged 30 plus books a year in business reading. Like those three I just named, I could save you years of wasting your time reading all the garbage that's out there. And if we can move it along, I'll come up with the other two because I got 5 books that I feel like are the Bible that you could read. I'm just fired up in my brain all over the place right now.
I at least got good. I got the E-Myth. I know I got machine somewhere around here. Fred. I read this one because I got the little fake bookmark stuff.
No, that's gold, man. That's gold.
This one is hard to emulate. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but this one, if you can emulate it, you on track. But you gotta do in your business.
Well, you gotta understand it first.
That's true.
Right? Because it's a concept. It ain't gonna get there. You got to get the concept, right? Yeah, because he talks about all about pies, right? Sarah bakes pies. You're a great pie baker. You should open a pie baking business. And then Sarah found herself owning a job and not doing nothing. Yep. But you're learning how to write SOPs. This is the thing. Figure out what the system look like and write SOPs for each position. And right now you're doing all of those things. Yeah. But like when you start making that $3,000, then you like, I'm gonna hire that person in the system. Yep. Start making a little bit more. I'm gonna hire that person in the system. And this is how you build a system. Now, if you just want to hustle and make some money,
hey, ain't nobody trying to do that. Ain't nobody trying to do that.
Yeah.
But I wish. Okay, so there go my wife's question. So we have it here. Freddie, I'm the same way. And this so good. Before we go there, Maurice, this is why I'm always like, Freddie, man, you need to have your own thing, man.
You do.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him there, Maurice. I'm trying. He a hard one to crack, bro.
I'm focused. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to 100 million. That's what.
Yeah. So that's why I shut up and stay in my lane. But I'll be like, man, you need to have your own thing. But anyway, my wife's question is: I have a 403B. I put 3% in. Employer matches that. I should increase my contribution or increase contributions to IRA. So I think you understand what you're saying there, Marie?
Definitely. But the 403Bs, I'm definitely a fan of less in unless you need that tax deduction. So whatever they're matching, stop there. Because the problem with all these 401ks and 403Bs is their investment options usually suck. It's usually a bunch of target date funds, retire in 2050, which is fine. But what we have, there's a reason why I do a lot of stuff about NVIDIA on LinkedIn and whatnot. To me, we're kind of in a 1990s paradigm shift. So imagine being only able to buy a Vanguard fund in 1995 when you should be dumping everything into Microsoft, right? And so that's why I just get the free money and then, yes, do the IRA or Roth IRA if you qualify. And if you don't qualify, pivot. Well, there's a way to still get money into a Roth IRA. If you don't qualify, I didn't get into that, but there's a way to get in there. And then after that, do the standard investment account. And then I like what Freddie said about the insurance. A lot of people don't know that insurance is tax-free and that the tax-free part is the death benefit. And then the rich people wrote a rule where you can borrow that death benefit while you're still alive. And that's how you're able to do a whole host of things with it. So Freddie knows.
Yeah. He knows. We use guys. We got like 20-some K or so to you know, we wind up, I'm going to use it for the other house, but just that with what you're saying is what we did.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. She says, we got that.
Somebody asked in the question, was that Michael Gerber for the email? Yes, that's Michael Gerber.
Yeah, sure is. I like the one with the hotel he goes to. The example there, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It's the entrepreneurial group, the mentor group that I'm in. They had him come in and we spoke to us live. It was, I give you another 80-20 sales and marketing. 80-20 sales and marketing by Perry Marshall is a gangster book in business, because you keep thinking that what you need in order to grow is more people to sell to, but actually you need to sell more to the people that's buying. So 80-20, it's a Pareto principle, right? So 80% of your profits come from 20% of your audience. So instead of just running around and figuring out all this other stuff, you need to identify who those 20% and start talking specifically to them and sell them more stuff and attract more people like that. You don't need to sell to everybody. You need to sell to the right people and sell them more things. This is why we keep adding on to our business, because we got people that buy the flashcards that's in it. And then, you got children, you need to get them that. Hey, you got adults, you need to do this. Or you want to go on trips, you need to do that. I'm selling the same people more stuff, and I'm going up in value with it. So we're extending the customer lifetime value, raising that, and that allows us to advertise more. There's a whole lot of conversations we can have in here.
Oh, bro, Freddie, it's one I want to have with you so bad, man. I keep saying, you know, we're gonna do it. I don't want to do it now, but yeah, hands down, because I feel like a lot of people don't know all the nuances that's out there that they could be making money from. And so many are focused on one stream of income.
Yeah.
And we all know the saying that if one stream of income, that's too close to homelessness. You know what I'm saying? That's just one step away from homelessness, you know, one bad COVID call. So I really like this type of thing, kind of educating people. I really want to continue to do it. Like I say, Maurice, I'm trying. You got to help me crack this nut on Freddie, man. Like, no Diddy on that one, but you got to help me crack it, because Freddie needed, like, I really want him to do, like, TSP is what we go to.
Yeah.
But when I'm at TSP, everyone's asking Freddie all the damn questions. So hey, man, why don't we just do your own? Because I want to learn from you. So, yeah.
What I like about Freddie, I just interject, is that, you know, as an engineer by trade or just by education, like, even before social media got kicked off, I like to be able to validate whoever I'm listening to. And so with Freddie, everything he just said about and I didn't know I was saying Pareto. I said Pareto. Pareto. I said
Pareto. Yeah,
Pareto. But that's what he's been doing. Like, I mean, I get the emails. I mean, I haven't taken the trip yet, but I'm like,
not yet. We're gonna send you some more emails.
Like, you don't see enough till you get them.
He always, you know, he's always adding. And I noticed now I know why it seems like you just came out. You started the flashcards in 2017. I thought you'd been out before that. I used to see the UI stuff everywhere, but I can track Freddie. Even before I knew him, I'm like, I can track what his evolution. And so, yeah, it's real. I mean, he's reading something. And so it makes sense when he gets to the TSP, people on top of him, because a lot of people know this stuff, but they don't do this stuff. And so I like somebody. Same thing with you, Tyron. I mean, hey, you never make excuses. That's why you and I connect. Like, because I listen to people. You start making excuses, I throw you in one box. All I want to hear is, I always say, don't post quotes, post results. So it's like, I vibe with people like that, because, you know, that's real life. And so I definitely appreciate just
I appreciate
being
that
in the presence, especially for free.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I 100% appreciate y'all time. I want to see if we can get some more questions before I let you guys out of here. But I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys' schedule is like, but I would say if I could maybe get more questions and feedback from people, and maybe once every 30, 60, 90 days or so, where you could jump back on and answer. Because again, my goal is to teach whoever, just like you guys, whoever. My heart and passion, though, is to a lot of us veterans. And that is because I've been on that side. I've been in the combat zone, and I got them to tell me, hey, we may not get a paycheck on the first. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the most helpless feelings I ever had in my life. Was, one, I'm in the combat zone. Two, I don't even know if my wife's going to be able to have money to pay bills. So I never wanted to be stuck with one paycheck ever again. So that's kind of why I like doing this. This one here actually is my daughter-in-law before we get out of here. Well, soon to be. What factors should you consider when choosing how to divide your money in a 401k? Does that sound like a reasonable one, Maurice?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Can I what are they 20s, 30s, 40s? Where
20s,
yes. Oh, 20s. Okay, great. So with 401ks nowadays, I would pretty much go with the S&P index fund. Typically it's called a Vanguard fund, or it's a Fidelity, S&P 500 index fund. And I would just do 100% into that. If you've got what's called a self-directed option, or some type of, if it's Fidelity, it's called brokerage link, then you can start to add stocks. But you pretty much can't go wrong with an S&P 500 index fund. And what that does, it's the entire, relatively U.S. stock market, or at least what they use to measure the U.S. stock market. And I think last year it did roughly 20%. This year it was up 10. Now it's up about 6.5. But I mean, the other 2022 it was down, 2021 it was up, 2020 it's the easy money. It's you can't
understood.
Well, let me put easy. It's the guarantee that you'll be tracking the market. You will be down some years, but you can't go wrong with that.
Oh, understood. So is there like a balance, I guess, in your portfolio you should have where there's stocks and bonds, or more bonds than stocks? Anything?
Yeah. I'm categorically against bonds, only because, so you take the 2022, you take 2020 or 2007, 2020, you will find in any of those years where the market was down, oh, my bond funds were down too. So when people buy the bond funds, they're thinking this is the quote unquote safe part of their portfolio. If your money's in the market, it's not quote unquote safe. It can go down, right? So you're investing for, like, Freddie's aiming for 100 million now, which means he's north of 10 million, right? So Freddie can't be concerned if 20 drops to 18 on the way to 100 million, right? So you aren't really looking to be safe with your money. You're looking to hit a goal. So you want to put it all in the market and aim for that first million. And then we can start talking about what do you want to do next, and put money in different buckets to keep it kind of safe. So like we talked about, you opened up, what would you tell the 20-year-old Freddie? The younger investor, which you're never younger than you are today, invest as aggressively as you can to get to that first million. Then let's have a conversation about how do we keep some money safe, because you don't want to go too far below $1 million once you get there. But most people have a framework of 100,000 where they never understand, like, if you had $500,000 and you're down 1%, that's $5,000, right? But that's 1%. At 100,000, that's 5%. But people can't get around that $100,000 mindset, and that's what I try to push them out of. So all in S&P 500. The regulators won't like it, but off the record, yeah.
S&P, put that down there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, look, fellas, man, I really appreciate your time. I'm not gonna hold y'all too much.
I got found in other books.
Okay. Oh, we'll see. Right. Let's drop them. Drop them.
One of them is called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I'm telling you. These are the books you should read. You should start with these books. So Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. That is a very important book. It's about the business bank accounts that you should have and how you should operate your money in order to make sure you're pulling profit out of the business and not just giving it to other people. And then if for a new person, like you're like, I don't know where to start with my business, my idea. Sorry about my lighting. I'm at my dad's house or whatever.
Hey man, I see you, bro.
The killer. This is a killer one. It's called Running Lean. I lost the author's name, but it's called Running Lean. How to going from plan A to a plan that works. And it's really about small focus groups and taking shots and failing, putting out an MVP, a minimum viable product, and seeing what people pay for it, and then iterating and building and building and building and building, because that's how you make money. You don't go write a whole damn business plan because it's going to be wrong. I got an MBA. They teaching you all backwards. You need to go convert sales, get people to spend money with you, and talk to them about why did you do that? What made you jump? You got a problem. Everybody say they can solve it. What made you get mine and then talk to the next person that buy and talk to them and buy them dinner and get on the phone with them and just figure out what was the real driver. So running lean is like a killer. But like you read those 5, 6 books, yeah, just buy me a coffee when you sit down there. Buy me a beer. I
just want to say I ain't know you drink coffee, bro. But
yeah. Sometimes when I'm trying to, long nights together. No,
well,
all right, I'm good. I'll stop right there.
You're good, Freddie. I think Kimmy put the book in the chat as well.
Yeah.
I do see one of my old Marine friends here. She said, "Where do you start?" Let me see. Can I pin that? What do you start at 45 for retirement? Only income, 100% disabled vet. So basically saying that obviously her only income is the disability.
Great.
Is that I don't know. Yeah. How do you answer that one?
The funny thing, this will be the third question like this. Our last 3 clients have been disabled. Well, not 3, I'm counting her. The last 2 clients have been disabled. Veterans receiving disability income. And so the first thing I ask is your disability income, does it conflict with Social Security? They said no. I always ask if there's a survivor benefit. And then once I know how that income is going to persist throughout the next, I guess, till you pass, then from there, we begin to build. And the key thing here is we're going to move retirement off the table, right? Because, we're building wealth. So it goes back to that number again. Let's get to the first million. Because what I know about whether it's disability income, Social Security income, pension income, theoretically, this phrase does have a negative connotation, but it has a negative connotation for a reason. You are living check to check, right? Because most people will spend the money they get, right? So I got a pension check coming in, I'm gonna spend it. Social Security check, I'm gonna spend it. Disability income check, I'm gonna spend it. Those all feel like they're limiting and putting you in a box. So you want to be independent of that. So we're gonna get to that first million. And so we're going to run your budget or whatnot and find out what from this income we can push into a wealth building vehicle. And then from there, we're going to go to work. Because it's disability income, not earned income, we're going to do a standard investment account, leverage that up and start attacking this market and getting things going. So that's how we would go about that. But it's going to be no retirement. Let's get to the first million. If you aren't at $1 million already, if you are, then we're going to push out to 10 million. So that's my answer.
All right, man, I appreciate that. And I think my to-do list is to the people that associate with me, I'm going to ensure that they have a checklist and they checklist because I want them to come to you guys. Well, Freddie doesn't want any more work, so we're going to try to keep that from him. But at some point, he's going to cross the path and they can ask some questions. But, at least get them to you guys for the knowledge, get them to you guys for whatever they could do, become clients. Because one, if there was anything that I needed, you guys are the ones that I would go to. So I feel good with, telling people, hey, support this guy, go to this guy, because you're in good hands. So that's the purpose that I want to do for everything. Again, man, I don't want to take up too much more of y'all time. I think y'all answered some great questions. I thought maybe I see one of my kids on there somewhere, but
I saw Justin in the comments earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Let me try to find him somewhere.
That was earlier.
Oh, what up, OG? Okay.
There
I
you
should have known he was being a dude. So. But yeah, like I said,
I'll just say I don't have nothing to sell you other than if you want these Black History products and services, we got you.
Get them cards.
Get them cards.
I'm be quiet.
Matter of fact, so Freddie now he's grown, as you know, Maurice. He don't just have Black History. He got playing cards. And they got, what's the game card, Freddie? Please tell us about it.
Yeah, it's like a Black Taboo card. You better not say. We have a Black Steam Bingo, a Black History Steam Bingo set. So we really just started expanding. We actually got 18 physical products that we sell into it. And then we have the Sankofa Club, which is our #1 Black History Club for children. We teach live Black History classes to children 2 days a week. And there's a bunch of activities and stuff like that on the back end. We started Black History classes for adults. Actually, our first class starts May the 2nd. And we're doing chronological history starting from Kemet up to the present day. So that's going to be a pretty interesting thing. And then we take people on Black History travel experiences throughout the African diaspora, starting with Africa and beyond. So we're getting there. But if you have entrepreneurial questions, you can feel free to fire them over to me. I don't mind sharing the information. I just don't got nothing to sell you.
Right.
I got no.
Oh, you don't have no.
I'm just gonna be on top of my dome, answering questions, that type of thing. But you can find me, Freddie Taylor, on Facebook. That's usually where I'm running my mouth at. But Urban Intellectuals everywhere else.
Okay, I appreciate it. How about you there, Maurice? How you what they find you where?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can hit me at Maurice at wilsonwealth.com. Of course, wilsonwealth.com, and I do a lot of stuff on Instagram. So you can, Maurice Wilson. I think it should be Maurice L. Wilson with the not Instagram. I'm saying LinkedIn, not Instagram.
LinkedIn, okay.
I am on Instagram, but I am really bad on Instagram.
Bro, me too. Outside of my personal account, talking crap and posting crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still don't know how to I still don't know how to find stuff on there. That's a blind spot. And that's it. I'm not really on Twitter or X, and there's a reason for that beyond just Elon Musk. It's just our compliance department. They want to charge us a whole bunch of money to track the tweets, and I was like, we're not doing the tweet tracking the tweets. So, but that's how you get to me. And of course, I have my podcast, The Wealth Equation with Maurice L. Wilson. Just happy to help everybody. Our mission is to do this stuff. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I tell everybody I love for you guys to be on, because you just do it naturally. You're not trying to upsell them on anything. And Maurice, I listened to your podcast and even had my kids listen to it, because you had one on I think it was Millennial something. I don't know if it was Millennial Money. I think it was.
Yeah.
Hey man, that was a great episode, because even me, I was learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciate brothers that put the knowledge out, and you're not always trying to sell. One thing I do know is that y'all time isn't free, so people got to pay for that. But you're not always trying to upsell them. So, man, I thank y'all so much for coming in. Freddie, you going? I know I didn't stop your beer drinking time, man. You going to do what you got to do. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all being on, and I'm gonna close this thing out, man.
All right, thank you, brother. Thanks for having me. Man.
Thank you, Tyran. Thanks for just doing this, and Freddie, keep doing what you're doing. It's impacting me. I'm gonna get caught up on your new product suite. I'm behind. I didn't know this is out of date. I gotta get stepped up.
That's all right. And I want to encourage you, man. You're doing important work. Our number one core value is we're doing important work because we serve important people. And you're definitely an important person, but you're doing the work, brother. And you change your lives and helping people. So continued success to you. And Tyran, thanks, man.
No problem.
Good, brother.
No problem. Like you're gonna see Maurice at TSP too, man. So
I'll be there, man.
There.
My man.
I'll be way back in the line with the behind all other people.
That's not it. You be VIP with me, man.
Okay. Hey, all right. Look, hey,
he's already been briefed. He already been briefed. He can't sit still and can't sit by himself. So he already been briefed. But anyway, y'all be easy, man. Y'all take care.
Peace, brother.
All right. With that being said, man, I just want to close this thing out. As you saw, man, nobody is selling anything. We just naturally do this from the bottom of our heart because we love it. But time is what's going to cost you. So the biggest way to get across that time gap is to ensure you do just what they said in your free time. Like, don't wait till the next time we together and then ask questions. No, take whatever they just told you, go research it. All right, it's the same thing. This one wasn't more into stock stuff. What's a support and resistance? We can get into that later, but hopefully from this information and this knowledge that you got, you saw that you need it. Well, I ain't gonna say need, but it's wise to have more than one set of income coming in. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Peace, the whole shebang. And there's nowhere in the whole entire world that I can exit this thing without my boy King Dot sending me off properly. So love y'all. Be easy, be breezy. Peace, y'all.
Big talk with a vet, family Tyran Cosby. You already know what the fuck it is. No filter.
Beer Talk with a Vet is a raw, uncut, and unfiltered conversation about the minority male experience. Hosted by retired U.S. Marine Corps veteran turned CEO Tyran Cosby. Whether you are a rookie in the game of life, a seasoned vet from the School of Hard Knocks, or somewhere in between, sit back and listen, laugh,